like clock. I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop.
Boruto Chapter 43 is going to be released in a couple of days, and before that does come out, I do want to give some of my opinions and quote-unquote predictions about what I think and what's probably going to be happening in Chapter 43. Now, first things first, to pretty much cover what happened before. At this point, Boruto, the rest of Team 7, or quote-unquote the new Team 7, add in Kawaki and take out Konohama's male, because Konohama's father at this point, right? They're fighting the inside of Boro, and in the last chapter, they pretty much got the upper hand on Boro. Now, there were some unconfirmed spoilers that came out on Naruto forums, and they basically spoke about how the new Team 7, like, they overwhelmed Boro with high-speed regeneration, but Boro had an ace up his sleeve. Just to clarify, Boro was the Kata member that they were fighting. Boro had an ace up his sleeve, and he managed to take away Kawaki, quote-unquote the vessel. Now, if this is true, it's going to be a very difficult pill to swallow, not just for Boruto and the rest of quote-unquote Team 7, including Sarada and Mitsuki, but it's going to be a difficult pill to swallow from Naruto and Shikamaru's standpoint, man, because the number one threat to Naruto and the Hidden Leaf right now is, of course, Jigen and the Kata organization. They have the upper hand on Naruto, man, because they have a lot of information about the Hidden Leaf Village, but the Hidden Leaf Village basically has no knowledge about the Kata organization. Naruto was in the process of gaining Kawaki's trust. Of course, he gained Kawaki's trust already, but he never really extracted any information about the Kata organization and about what they were planning and about Jigen or quote-unquote Isshiki Otsutsuki. Now, not only that, if this is accurate, this can possibly have overall storyline implications, mainly because what we understand is that from the first episode in Boruto, we seen Kawaki on the other side fighting against Boruto. What we assume is that right there is probably not going to be Kawaki. That right there is probably going to be Kawaki's as the vessel, but Isshiki Otsutsuki controlling Kawaki and being actually in Kawaki's body. Of course, because of that Kawaki is going to be extremely strong, but regardless, this right here could possibly be the preliminary steps to Kawaki being controlled by Isshiki Otsutsuki. What we've seen from a couple of chapters ago after Isshiki Otsutsuki fought against Naruto and Sasuke, Isshiki Otsutsuki in Jigen's body was extremely weak. It seemed like he had no chakra left because of the fight versus Naruto and Sasuke. Of course, they're extremely strong. He pretty much exhausted that whole body. He pushed himself to the limit, and now he needs a new vessel. In the upcoming chapters, possibly even through the time skip, this can possibly mean that Isshiki Otsutsuki is probably going to complete the vessel transformation and take over Kawaki's body. Boruto and Naruto might not be able to see Kawaki again until he's pretty much actually facing off against the Hidden Leaf Village, which is going to be a very terrible scene. But let's get off of that point real quick. I do want to talk about Naruto being sealed into this ball. We might not be able to get Naruto back. This right here might be it for Naruto. Naruto might be done for and finito. The novels might say something differently, but the information from what we have right now from the manga is that there is no possible way to retrieve Naruto. Now, Boro might have been lying, but back in chapter 41, the Kata member Boro basically said the only person that could release the seal would be Jigen, or excuse me, Isshiki Otsutsuki in this case, but Boro said Jigen. I don't necessarily know if he's actually talking about Jigen or if he's actually talking about Isshiki Otsutsuki. That's up in the air, but for right now, let's just go off of Isshiki Otsutsuki is the only person that could possibly release Naruto. Now, it's very possible for Isshiki to say, hey, I have no problem with Naruto. Naruto can't stop me either way. I'm probably going to release Naruto. But regardless, if they do beat Boro, the inner member that Team 7 is fighting as of right now, they still are not going to be able to release Naruto, mainly because Jigen or Isshiki Otsutsuki is not going to free him in the next chapter. Now, as I said, it's very possible for him to say, hey, I'm just going to free Naruto. But from the information that we have right now, that is going to be extremely concerning, and that's going to be the next thing that they have to figure out. How do we open the seal without harming Naruto? Now, Boro said, hey, you might be able to crack it open, but he couldn't necessarily guarantee the safety of the contents that were in it, which basically means, like, if you crack open the seal, Naruto might die. And what we know from the previous intelligence that we gathered from the first episode of Boruto, Kawaki told Boruto that I'm going to send you to where I sent the 7th Hokage. Now, as I said, that could possibly be Isshiki Otsutsuki masquerading in Kawaki's vessel and telling Boruto, like, hey, I'm going to seal you where I sealed Naruto. That right there is concerning, man, because if that is the case, that means Naruto would still be in that ball and still be in that seal past the time skip. So he'd be in there for over 3 years, which is absolutely insane to think about, man, because it would take Naruto completely out of all the planning and preparation versus the Kata organization, which we all know Naruto is definitely going to be a big focal point if we do plan on beating the Kata organization. Now, I do want to switch gears quickly. This is going to be about Boruto's dojutsu in the Boruto manga. What we know is that Boruto has a Jougan, but it has never really been shown in the Boruto manga. The only time that we did see it was in chapter 1 when we did get the preview of Boruto battling off against Kawaki. Now, in that particular scene, we're not even sure if that was actually a Jougan. In my opinion, that really looked like a Byakugan, and everybody else thought it was a Byakugan. Even the writers pretty much said that they wanted Boruto to have a Byakugan. So in terms of Boruto actually having the real Jougan, we've never seen it before in the manga of Boruto. People are assuming that Boruto can possibly have the Jougan out in the next chapter. Now, I do want to make a clear distinction. I think that Boruto having his dojutsu appear in the next chapter would be a realistic thing, but every single time or every single chance where Boruto had the opportunity to use his dojutsu in the Boruto manga, it never really came through to fruition. And I don't think that the next chapter would pretty much be any different from what we've seen before in the past. Now, the idea is that Boruto's dojutsu is probably going to pop up, mainly because it pops up usually when people use a time space ninjutsu. Boruto in the anime was able to read Isshiki Otsutsuki's time space ninjutsus mainly because his Jougan would pop up. But there was literally multiple times where someone used a time space ninjutsu portal in front of Boruto and Boruto's dojutsu didn't pop up. In the manga, when Boruto and Kawaki opened their very own portal, his dojutsu didn't pop up. There was a time when Isshiki had multiple time space ninjutsus and his dojutsu didn't pop up. His dojutsu really only popped up after Boruto seen it a lot of times. And it didn't trigger back in the Chunin exam when Sasuke himself opened the portal right in front of Boruto's eyes either. So it's going to be a very tricky situation in the next chapter. In my opinion, I would definitely think this would probably be a pristine opportunity for Boruto's Jougan to pop up. But realistically, going off of the manga writer's tendencies, it's probably not going to happen. Now, here's the thing that I want a lot of you guys to look out for in the next chapter of Boruto. The unconfirmed spoilers basically said that Boro is going to retrieve Kawaki and go back to the Kata hideout. Now, at the Kata hideout, Jigen is going to be there, or Isshiki Otsutsuki, or Isshiki Otsutsuki is going to be there. But Kashin Koji is on his way to the Kata hideout to pretty much battle against Jigen and possibly seize control over the Kata organization. The intentions of Kashin Koji is unconfirmed, but he pretty much said that he wanted smoke with Jigen mainly because Jigen is injured. And I said this right after he fought against Naruto and Sasuke. Jigen's enemies at this point, they're going to try to attack mainly because he is weak. Jigen said it himself, he's out of chakra, and that's why he wants Kawaki right now. Like, he wants to go into Kawaki's body mainly because that's his next vessel, and he's going to be extremely strong after he takes Kawaki's body. Now, here's the thing. If Kashin Koji gets there before Boro gets there, the whole thing might be bungled. Kawaki is probably going to be free because 9 times out of 10, the only reason why they wanted Kawaki was because of Isshiki Otsutsuki. Kashin Koji might end up being the leader of the Kata organization, and Naruto might be sealed in that ball forever, like for eternity, man, because as Boro said, Jigen is the only person that could release the seal, and if Kashin Koji kills Jigen, Naruto's gonna be stuck there for the rest of eternity. He might just be sealed in another dimension where nobody can get to him. That right there is gonna be a very interesting storyline to monitor over the next chapter. Now, it might not come to the next chapter, it might come to the chapter after that. They might just reserve the next chapter for the Team 7 versus Boro fight, plus him possibly taking Kawaki and going back to the Kata hideout. But I just want to let you guys know, these are some things that you guys should be looking out for, and this is what I think is probably going to be happening in the next chapter of Boruto. But let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. It's been your boy Baara B, and we out.
It's a knife.
Check my clock, I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols. Reaming my body, clothing no issue. Bitch, you look sick, you need a tissue. You drop a body, I just might bless you. I'm at your sexual, no high cholesterol. Where's Jenny Craig? Bitch, just get sexual.